Hello and good morning, everyone. We should be live now. This is Emmanuel, and I am the author of Tales from the Interface. And today, like I've been doing for the past few Saturdays, I will be working on my webcomic. So you're welcome to ask any question you might have. And I'll be happy to answer it as best I can. And I encourage you to like and subscribe to my channel, as I am planning to continue doing this. I may take a break next week, I don't know, or for the holidays, depending how it goes with my what I set up with my family. But usually I should be continuing to do this every Saturday at 9. So without further ado, let's start. Today I am working on page 18 of my 24-page chapter, and I'm already pretty advanced on it. Although I'm looking at it now and I'm wondering if, there are nice faces, but it is a bit boring, so I might want to rethink about my the dynamism of this page. But I will take a break from these. I do like this one though. I think it came out really well. But I'm gonna work today on this panel here. So this panel here is a bit of a challenge. It's very rough now. So it's kind of you see there's like two people, and they're kind of on top of a balcony with some books at the bottom. I already drew part of this, and it's on page 16. Page 17, yeah. So basically, it's kind of another view of this scene. So I'm gonna be referencing this one a lot to make sure that my new drawing matches this. Yeah. Okay. So there should be a door here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my perspective lines. Here. And I've talked about this multiple times, how the perspective line is, the perspective guys are really good in clip paint. Ruler, they call it perspective ruler. Okay. So 1 point perspective, 2 point perspective. In this specific case, I believe a 1 point should do. And it's always a bit tricky to figure out where you want your horizon to be. I actually believe that where it is now is not bad at all. I do want a door here. So yeah, so the viewer would be like seeing them on top of the stairs, but then the angle of the door would be really extreme here if I do it like that. Yeah, kind of 1 point perspective works better. When your horizon is not so far. and then it becomes kind of better in 3-point. I think if I do it like that, okay, I can try that. Okay, so I'm gonna hide the bubbles just to so let's go to that layer. Okay, which layer am I on now? It's not even the right page. Alright. It always creates the perspective ruler far from where you were, which is, this is the little things in the Paint Studio that are not really, you know, well thought out. I was inside this layer and then they put it all the way outside here. I don't know. Why do you do that? I don't think they gave it much thought. And then I kind of, yeah. Oops, wrong layer. Okay. Probably more transparent even. All right. Okay, so if I make my so there's kind of a wall going like this, like this, like this, and then they have this here, there's a door. So the stairs will follow these lines here. And then this would be where the wall connects here, and then there would be shelves. The door to enter the room would be around here. And then maybe like 2 layers of books like this. So what I'm doing here is that I'm hiding everything else because this is going to get complicated. So I just want to take it out of the... or what I can do is just disable this the mask. Yeah, okay. Okay, I don't want to even see the border, so I'm just going to take that out of it. Yeah. I need my perspective too. Okay. Maybe I'll keep it, but with very low, just to give me an idea of until where I need to draw. But it can get very distracting, so try to hide it as much as possible. Okay, so the ceiling would be close to here, like this, and then this is a door, so this, I believe the floor should be around here. Let's maybe a bit more. Okay. And then the stairs will probably continue. Wow, that's what happens with 1 point perspective. When you get too far, you get these super extreme angles. So I think my stairs doesn't need to go much further than probably that. There's a lot of eyeballing going on, and I am not trying to make necessarily a perfect drawing, but I do want it to be at least reasonably correct. Okay. So that would be the staircase. My door is here. Okay, so yeah. Okay, that's kind of the general direction. I'm gonna just quickly draw my figures. They should be probably around this size. Okay, now I don't need my sketch layer under anymore. And I'm gonna just take another color and draw on top. So the bottom of my staircase. The floor. The wall here would be like this. There's an entrance here. This is the beginning of the stairs. The back of the top here. The door, which should probably be thinner. Okay, ceiling. And then I can start drawing the stairs. So that would be the steps. So about here it starts to get a little bit wonky, but it's outside the frame of my drawing, so it doesn't look bad. That's how it is with 1 point. It becomes a point where it looks really bad, and if you go too far, you need to concentrate on, you need to be pretty close to the origin point. Okay, and then there's a guardrail here. We'll go down up to the corner of the stairs. this side as well. And I'm looking at the frame, and I think, yes, that I'll need to lower my action a little bit, because there's such a thing called like a tangent, and it's kind of looks awkward to have like tiny little piece of ceiling there. So it's better for composition purposes to lower the action just a smidge. Makes the stairs look better too. And does it look good? So my characters are centered on this. I'm trying to use thirds, so my character will be on the top and third of the panel here. It might be more interesting because then I can draw the paintings here, which are more interesting than the books. If I put the action more like this, then I can show a new part. Let's see with the other panels. Yeah. Yeah. I think I like it better like that. So you have to think about how the stairs, that big shape, will lead back down. If I put it there, it kind of blocks the rhythm. I think here. Yeah. Alright, let's go for that. Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk about today was some work I did this week on the script. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the way I script. And before I do that, I'm going to take a sip of tea. Because it might be a long explanation. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. All right. Tales from the Interface started around the year 2000, and the way I often work, the way I found it easier to work is to build upon things that I already did. So the reason why I'm saying that is that this was a case where I didn't start like that. I didn't build upon something I already did. This was a completely new idea, and the way I say we because the way it came to be is that every I think Fridays, I think it was Fridays, I would invite some of my good friends to come over, and we have some fun. We drank a couple of beers and ate some bad food, and we just did some creative storytelling. So basically, what we did is just let's create stories, and we kind of made up our own worlds, and from some basic ideas that were created that day, I made the first draft of this story, and I did draw a lot at that time, but I thought that it was so complicated that I wasn't feeling secure into making a comic about it. So I tried to write a novel, but it's not, and I did some creative writing, so I like to write, but I had trouble to with description, to describe things in a way that felt good to me, that felt good enough. I mean, I thought my description weren't very good, but so I'm kind of falling upon my more of my drawing skills to create those environments, because I had trouble to describe them with words. So that's a bit why this never became a novel. And when I write, I tend to be very concise. I go to the point. I don't, and that's the thing with writing. You need to really be good at describing, I think. You need to talk about smells and sounds and everything to kind of make the character feel like they're part of the scene. In comics, you can do some narration, of course, but you get to tell a lot of that description through drawing. So that worked much better for me. Although I was really scared about committing to this story, because it is quite large. So what I did was that I decided to kind of get some of the ideas and build them into short stories. So that's how I kind of started doing these. I only wanted to do short stories. I didn't want to go into the big thing. But it kind of was always on the back of my mind, and I think I needed to get it out. So that's why I started to draw it for real. And it is a big commitment, and it is a bit, scary when you see that huge mountain of work in front of you. So I was looking, and I always have that kind of dread about how big this is. So I was looking at the so what I did from my novel, just to continue on what I was saying. So what I did with the novel is that sorry, I'm thinking here about my frames. Yeah, so I separated my novel into shorter stories. Okay, so I started my comic like that, and then I wanted to do the complete thing. So what I used is a program called Scrivener, and then I kind of used the card method. So the card method, what it is that the idea is that you write your main story points on cards, and then the strength of a Scrivener is that you can go in the card and write more. Okay, so that's what I did, and I wrote like the first few chapters in a 24 pages format. Now that I'm getting comfortable with, now I know, and I also know how long it takes to actually do a 24 page. So I have a lot more maturity there. There's a small frame here. So recently I was looking at that, and the time it took to draw a chapter. So a chapter for me takes close to a year to do. So you can appreciate that I want to be as efficient as possible. So I was counting all my chapters, and I had like 6 or 7 years of work for that. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I'm gonna be 46 when this is finally finished. Am I still gonna be, really into it at that time? I would say yes, because I really am committed to finishing this. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that what I wrote was really like the best that it can be. So, and then Scrivener at that point was becoming extremely crowded, and it was kind of hard to make sense of it. So what I did is I put it aside. I took a blank doc, and I started to write bullet points. So I took each one of the chapters I still have to do, and I wrote like the main bullets, like the main thing that happens in each chapter. And then I called up my buddy, and I read him the outline. And we spent like 2 hours on the phone talking, with me explaining, and he asking questions, and it really, really helped me to center what I'm trying to say, and to tell a better story. So now I removed, I think, 1 or 2 chapters, and it's more concise, and it tells the story better, I think. So I'm probably have another 5 years, but I saved 2 years probably, which is not to say that it's final. I mean, it could change, but at least I think I have now a better story told in a better way. And yeah, so I told him like 100 times thank you for his help. I mean, it's extremely helpful. And if you have anybody, and I highly recommend it, if you have anybody that can listen to you while you tell the story. It makes a huge difference. Really, I mean, because as you tell the story, you stop staring at your screen, and the same card, the same thing, and it really helped. So making the outline helped, and then telling the story to somebody helped as well. It made me find holes in the story. And then his question helped me to kind of find what I'm trying to say better. Yeah, so I'm really grateful to have friends like that. Yeah. That's a bit where I am with the scripts. I think so the bad thing about that is I'm gonna have to rewrite a lot of it because I had finished the next 2 chapters scripts. But I mean, writing a script compared to a full chapter is nothing, really. I mean, if I'm concentrated with the bullets, I can probably train it out in a couple of days. So compared to a book that takes me a year to do. So good thing. So it was a good thing that happened this week. So this is the entrance, actually, to the. Just gonna see how the door is made. Here. Yeah, it's a pretty large door, actually, so probably want to raise this. So that's the thing. See, the frame of the door would end up exactly on the frame of the panel, which, yeah, that's really bad. I'm just gonna finish writing the door, but I think I'm gonna move some stuff around a little bit. So my sister went to see Go On last week. Oh my god. And she's been posting videos, and I would love to see him one day. So I have all his song in my head right now. bit tricky. Probably like this. Yeah. Right. Now I have a big empty space here where I can draw some weird thing. Well, what the hell would I draw there? Some big sculpture of something. Right. Starting to look good. Okay. Hate when I do that, so I drew on the perspective ruler. So there are some certain line that I know I need to, and I can ink without any problem, like the ramp here. I can start doing that. As I said before, I do draw these freehand, even though I could use the guide. I feel that it makes a more uniform drawing, and also it helps me to learn to control my pen a little bit better. And I can probably cheat a little bit. Take this thing. And up. Correct perspective. I believe that with the chaos of the rest of the drawing, it shouldn't be apparent. So it looks really rough here, but considering the size of the page and the rest of the art, it really should look okay. I'm working really big here. It's a straight line like this. Wow, it's already 9:45. Wow, oh my god. Yeah, time flies when you're drawing. Before we finish, I'm gonna do a little update on my whole the whole Copa thing. So I've been trying, and that's why there's last episode was 7 and 9. This is last episode was 8, and this is 10. It's because the two other episodes were made on Periscope, the Twitter platform, and Facebook, respectively. I wanted to try to see what they were like, and so here's what my finding. So Periscope is okay, I guess. So I did get a feeling that some people were watching from YouTube, although they didn't, from Twitter, although I didn't really make a sound, but I saw some views there. But the sound was pretty crappy, and I'm using a pretty crappy camera and microphone already, so wasn't really happy with that. There is at least like a website with a channel and everything, but it's I didn't see if there were comments, but it seemed, I don't know, wasn't really happy about it. But at least you can share the video much easier than the next thing, which I tried, which is Facebook. So Facebook, the quality is okay, but as you may have realized, that the UI of this whole site is sucks, like really bad. And to go see my videos, you have to go to the video tab, and it's really a website that's built to be in the moment and nothing else. I mean, I have to say that the whole channel thing and the whole the comments, the live chat, everything, YouTube is really the boss, for streaming live things like that. And it would really pain me to have to stop here. I don't want to. So I've been listening to a lot of creators, and the thing is, I'm really, really small, as you may see. So the risk that this might affect me is really small. And plus, I've been hearing recent video that kind of explain that people who do like mixed audience and things that are like animation and stuff like that, they might not be it might not be they might not be spotted, especially if you're a small creator. So from what I understand, they wouldn't do that for a very small creator like me, and then they would have to go through legislation and stuff like that, apparently. So I'm keeping my ears open. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. It seemed like people were freaking out in the beginning, obviously. Now it seemed people have started to think it's probably going to be okay. But I'm keeping my ears open. I will continue posting videos on YouTube for the time being. As I said in the beginning, with the Christmas vacation, I might skip 1 or 2 or 3 even, or I might do them at a different time. But I will certainly try my best to do more of them, and of course I will be also continuing to post sketches and stuff like that on Instagram and all the other media, social media. And my comic is still, the current chapter is still going on. You can definitely go read that. It should finish, I believe, around March or maybe end of February. So, well, you can also wait until it ends and then read it all then. Or you can just buy the book and have it for Christmas. I can probably still ship it in time. And my books, as I've said, they are, I am doing all the work. I'm the one sending them. I'm managing the printing, everything. So if you get a book from me, you're really getting something that I made myself. So I really appreciate support in that. And I can also make a drawing for you inside it. So if you're interested, go check out my website. All the links are there. Yeah. And of course, if you have any question, you know, the comments are there. Social media is there. You can reach me on any of them, basically. I should spot your message. Oh yeah, that's what I want to say. So, I will be raising the price a little of my book also in 2020. So probably around the beginning of January, I'll make the switch. Shouldn't be terribly more expensive, but still, if you want to take advantage of the old price, then I suggest you go get a copy now. Yeah, that's a cool stare. Yeah. Oh, that's a new painting. Okay. This one there. Ah. Alright, so we're just about done. Maybe quickly show what it looks like with the other panels. And I think it will make a nice page. Was it with, I don't know about the top part. I might change how this is kind of laid out because there's a lot of face on this page. Although there, yeah. Sometimes you kind of need to look at the whole thing, and I've been doing a lot of backgrounds as well. So maybe a page of face is not that bad. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So we're just about done. Thank you all for joining me tonight, this morning. And yeah, so I'll see you all next time, and please like, please subscribe, you hit the bell icon and all those YouTube things, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.